Well, hi, all my LGBT friends and others. Happy Friday to you. I just voted. Yay! Got my voting out of the way. I do it by mail. It's just a lot easier, I think. And so I'm happy that that duty is done. So anyway, just keep praying that, things will turn around for America. Okay, I wanted to share with you something that I listened to very late last night from Tom Horn and the convention that he was at with Chuck Missler. I think they hold it in Colorado Springs, Colorado, or somewhere in Colorado, and it's called the 2016 Prophecy Convention kind of thing. Okay, so without going within 2 hours worth of stuff, I thought I would just kind of sum it up really quickly. As some of you may or may not know, Tom Horn was a minister for many years and a writer, and he and Tom Putman have been investigating the Vatican and the goings on with the Vatican, and he has come across a term that was called transgenetics or something like that, and he wanted to investigate that, and certain things have led him to where he is now. Okay, that usually that happens for all of us. And so he started to investigate what is the Vatican doing, investigating ET, if you will, okay, or extraterrestrial life out there. And why are they building a telescope in Arizona and on a very sacred mountain that the native Indians didn't want and actually tried to thwart through a environmental law, but the Vatican has somebody in their pocket at the University of Arizona, which they either partner in or own the land. And anyway, the native Indians didn't want them to build up there because that to them was a sacred portal, okay? And they had seen Nephilim and other things throughout the history of the Americas coming down through that portal. They actually raped and pillaged and tried to destroy the Indians by taking their women and burying them, Nephilim in Americas. And we've got, proof of that, of red-haired giants and bones and stuff that were in caves through the native folklore that the Smithsonian absconded with. And my nephew works for the Smithsonian. God bless his little heart. He's a great little computer genius, and so he gets that from his grandfather. And so anyway, what was I going to say? So they tried to get it stopped. They couldn't get it stopped. They built this telescope, and there's actually 3 of them, and the biggest one that uses infrared is called Lucifer. Okay, so Tom Horn discovered a book that was written by a Jesswhit called something like The Existence of the Universe, by Senior Console Monogo, whatever, how he would say his name, Italian guy. And he wrote him a letter and said that he wanted to verify why are you guys looking for ET, what's going on. So basically, to make a long story short, they are trying to get the theology out there that Jesus or Mary was abducted by aliens, impregnated with the seed of Jesus, and I'm trying not to laugh, okay? And that these beings that are coming from outer space are alien, superior brothers and sisters or whatever, and that they are actually our gods, and they're going to try to change the whole Bible and the whole biblical narrative, okay? And they're actually rewriting scripture and everything right now as we speak. So the great deception is going to be, that's going to be part of it, all right? That they're going to claim that these alien beings, which we know came from fallen angels, Nephilim hybrid, disembodied spirits and demons, 200 of the watchers that came down on Mount Hermon in the Middle East, Israel, and decided to make a pact. You can read it all in the book of Enoch. In the book of Enoch, there's some, passages from the book of Enoch in our own Bibles. And Job tells us not to discount it and to remember it. So I believe it is canon. Although others don't, they dispute it, whatever, that's their choice. So, but I see it as very biblical. And anyway, they came down, made a pact, and they taught man all kinds of various things like metallurgy and weaponry, and even taught women devices of how to make themselves more beautiful, more alluring, with different potions and whatnot to allure men and angels into their bedrooms. So, yeah, So anyway, and God did not want this to happen, and by the time of Noah's time, after this had all happened, most of the world was corrupted with various, everybody was corrupted, their DNA was corrupted, and so when Tom Horn had found out about transgenetics, he didn't quite know what it meant, but he sort of put it together, genetic, and he found out that they had been experimenting with the human DNA, plant DNA, animal DNA, and mixing and trying to come up with whole different species, okay? And so eventually they want to just eradicate the human species, and we've got super soldiers, you hear stuff about that. And, this all stems back to what the fallen angels did. And Enoch told them that God gave him a vision saying that they should not be doing this, that their fate is sealed. He cast them into an outer space, outer region area. And it's not Sheol, it's I can't think of the name, I'm just losing it right now. Anyway, it's a different place, okay? And they have no way to, they can't appeal. God has said that, what you did was completely wrong, and that's between God and them, and that's it. They don't have any other recourse, okay? And they tried to petition God to please forgive them or whatever, and God said no, okay? So anyway, let's see, get this thing here. What happened there? Okay, that's weird. So anyway, is that dark? That just went dark, didn't it? Okay. Oh, okay. So I hope you guys don't see this little square thing that I'm seeing. Anyway, all right. So I want to go on and read chapter 21 to you from Deuteronomy, and get that going for you. So the expiration of uncertain murder, the firstborn is not to be disinherited upon private affection, and a stubborn son to be stoned to death. Okay. If one be found slain in the land which the Lord thy God giveth thee to possess it, lying in the field, and it not be known who hath slain him, then thy elders, thy judges, shall come forth, and they shall measure unto the cities which are round about him that is slain. And it shall be that city which is next unto the slain man, even the elders of that city shall take a heifer, which had not been wrought with, and which had not drawn in the yoke. In other words, it wasn't used for labor. pure heifer. And the elders of the city shall bring down the heifer unto a rough valley, which is neither eared or sown. In other words, it's not been used for growth, and shall strike the heifer's neck there in the valley. And the priests of the sons Levi shall come near, for them the Lord thy God had chosen to minister unto him, and to bless in the name of the Lord. By their word shall every controversy and every stroke be tried. And the elders of that city that are next unto the slain man shall wash their hands over the heifer that is beheaded in the valley. And they shall answer and say, Oh, our hands have not shed this blood, neither have our eyes seen it. Be merciful, O Lord, unto the people of Israel, whom thou hast redeemed. Lay not an innocent blood unto the people of Israel's charge, and the blood shall be forgiven them. So in other words, the man, they don't know who killed the man. They're saying that they didn't do it. Please, don't charge them with the man's death. So shall thou put away the guilt of innocent blood from among you, which shall do that which is right unto the sight of the Lord. When thou goest forth to war against thine enemies, and the Lord thy God had delivered them unto the hands, and thou hast taken them captive, and seest among the captives a beautiful woman, and hast a desire unto her, that thou would have her to thy wife, then thou shalt bring her home to thine house, and she shall shave her head and pare her nails, and she shall put the remnant of captivity off from her, and shall remain in thy house, and bewail her father and her mother a full month, and after that shall go unto her, and be her husband, and she shall be thy wife. And it shall be, if thou have no delight in her, then thou shalt let her go, whether she will, but thou shalt not sell her at all for money, that thou shalt not make merchandise of her, because thou hast humbled her. And if a man had 2 wives, and beloved and another hated, and they have born him children, both the beloved and the hated, if the firstborn son be her that was hated, then it shall be, when he maketh his sons to inherit that which he had, that he may not make the son of the beloved firstborn before the son of the hated, which is indeed the firstborn. And he shall acknowledge the son of the hated for the firstborn, by giving him a double portion of all that he had, for he is the beginning of his strength, and the right of his firstborn is his. And if a man had a stubborn and rebellious son, which will not obey the voice of the father, or the voice of his mother, and that they have chastised him, and will not hearken unto them, then shall his father and his mother lay hold on him, and bring him out unto the elders of the city, and unto the gate of his place. And they shall say unto the elders of the city, our son is stubborn and rebellious, he will not obey our voice, he is a glutton and a drunkard. And all the men of the city shall stone him with stones, that he die. So shall thou put evil away from among you, and all of Israel shall hear and fear. If a man had committed a sin worthy of death, and he be put to death, and and if a man had committed a sin worthy of death, and he be to be put to death, and thou hang him on a tree, his body shall not remain all night upon the tree, but you shall in any wise bury him that day, for he is hanged is an accursed of God, and that land shall not be defiled, which the Lord thy God giveth thee for an inheritance. Okay, so again, you need witnesses, you need, and the person has to be truly evil and unredeemable. So that's it for my reading for today. I'm going to sign off. I hope you have a great weekend, and take care. I'll talk to you soon. Bye-bye.